Hey everybody, what is going on? This is Orv3NWO bringing you a Call of Duty movie review, this time of the movie Skyfall, which is the 23rd movie in the James Bond franchise and happens to be the 50th anniversary of James Bond. And I want to start off by saying that I am not just a James Bond fan. I am a James Bond connoisseur. These are probably, other than John Wayne movies, James Bond is probably my dad's favorite type of movie, and I've been watching them ever since I was old enough to watch movies. So I've seen, to give you an idea, I've seen them all at least 3 to 5 times, and a bunch of them I have seen probably 10 plus times. From the start, from Dr. No, all the way through Brosnan, through the last couple in with Daniel Craig. And my idea of the Bond movie is a little different than what most people my age want to see, I guess, as far as what I feel from the last few movies. I was very upset when I saw Quantum of Solace. I thought it was awful for a Bond movie. I thought it would be great as a Jason Bourne movie or a regular action movie, but that's not necessarily what Bond is about. It's not supposed to be in Quantum of Solace, and I'm getting a little off before we even start talking about Skyfall. James Bond doesn't even feel like the main character, and it's kind of, you know, they have to switch Bonds every once in a while, and that's fine. That's part of it. That's what makes it so cool. And Casino Royale did very well. I thought the movie was good. They went in a little different direction. He was more stoic, more kind of quiet, and that was fine. In Quantum of Solace, he barely talked at all, and there was nothing funny, there was nothing cool, there weren't really any one-liners, there wasn't, I mean, it was just dull, and they got away from almost everything. They started, like I said, in Casino Royale, they started taking a little different route and started getting away from Bond things, less gadgets. They wanted to take the focus off the gadgets and the cars and the girls and put it more on Bond, and they did a good job of that in Casino Royale. They were awful about it in Quantum of Solace. Anyways, this was supposed to be a big one. 50th anniversary, all this stuff is going on. This has got to be a whole change. And for the first, probably, this is a very long movie also, by the way. It's a little over 2 hours, probably 2 and 15 minutes or so. The first 45 minutes, it feels a lot like Quantum of Solace. There's some kind of cool chases. There's a kind of cool fight scene. Nothing really blow your socks off. And then as it gets in further, you can start to see this change. And a lot of things start to happen that makes me feel a lot better about the movie. My only problem with it is, if you realize that the fan base wants to hear the Bond theme song, and they want to see him drive cars that have ejector seats, and they want to have him get gadgets, why not just make the movie like that? Why make us say... This movie basically is saying, hey guys, we get it. We're going to go back to that style of Bond movie. That'll be the next one. Instead of just going ahead and making this movie. So, before we go any further, I'm going to say right about now, there may be spoilers after this. If you don't want to hear any spoilers at all, now would be the time to click like and get out of there. No, I'm kidding. But there might be some spoilers because I'm going to kind of just ramble on the end of this. So basically, in this one, Bond is on a mission, and much like there's been many Bond movies, many spy movies, where there's a list of undercover agents that has to be recovered, and if not, all their covers are blown, and he's going after it. The big fight, a lot of stuff happens. Bond is presumed dead at the end of that. And so they're kind of moving on from that. After that, M16, the whole British Secret Service gets under this big cyber terrorist attack, and a lot of different things happen, and they're kind of scrambling, and turns out Bond's not dead. He's been kind of laying low, comes back to try and help, and it's kind of a whole, has he lost a step, is he getting too old type thing, and it moves on from there. I want to talk a little bit about the acting. I think Daniel Craig did a much better job in this one than he did in Quantum of Solace. Much more like Casino Royale. he is never going to be a very funny Bond. And some people, for some reason, I mean, I've watched them all, like I said, some people don't think that Bond should be funny, and I've never understood that. Sean Connery always had funny lines. Roger Moore always... It's not a comedy, no, but they have funny one-liners, and Daniel Craig has had the least out of any of those. And of course, like I said, they were trying to change Bond around a little, so that's okay. Casino Royale, he still had some funny stuff. Quantum of Solace, there was nothing. This one was much better. There were a lot more one-liners. Nothing that really, like, oh man, and then you go and tell your friends about it and you guys are quoting it for the rest. No, nothing like that, but it's a step in the right direction. He played it a lot better. It felt, Quantum of Solace, he didn't feel like James Bond. Okay? This one, it definitely did. No, it was much, much better. He's a strong actor no matter what. I think he got the role. He kind of captured the James Bond feel a lot better. The major enemy is Javier Bardem, who plays another guy that... Well, I don't think this is really a spoiler because they tell it to you right away when you start figuring out who the bad guy is that he used to be an agent as well. Javier Bardem is another very strong actor, and he does a pretty good job in this. I think that the direction that he went with the role was maybe a little flamboyant. I wish it had been a touch more subtle. I think he's better when he's kind of subtle and scary, and he didn't really seem scary to me as a bad guy. The Bond bad guys should always have that sort of mysticism. You know, they don't have to be some crazy, unbeatable, evil genius, but they always have some sort of mysticism to them. And this one had a touch, but it was really, I don't know, it just didn't feel that great. He did a very good job with the acting. He was very powerful in all of his acting scenes, but it's just a little tweak, not a horrible thing. I thought the bad guy in Quantum of Solace was awful. He was a geek, and for some reason James Bond couldn't even beat him in a fist fight with a little nerd. I didn't understand that. Javier Bardem, much better. I just thought maybe he should have been a touch more subtle with his role. Couple other things they did. I don't really want to just blow everything away for you. They've been without a Q for quite a while. The original Q died, and they kind of didn't know where to go from there. They brought a new Q in. I thought the actor with that did very good. Let me get his name real quick. I've got it pulled up here. It was Ben Whishaw, who has been in a few other things. Brideshead Revisited, I'm Not There. It looks like he's more of a stage actor a little bit. Did pretty good. I thought he did very good. They did, again, they took the focus a little away from the gadgets, and they kind of made it a point to say, hey, we're not about gadgets. So I don't know where you go from there in the next one. If you just told us that gadgets aren't supposed to be cool, well, you're pretty much telling us we're not going to ever have gadgets again until we switch directors or something, but maybe they will. They kind of made a little joke out of that bugged me a little, but overall, I thought he did a very good job. He had a good rapport with Daniel Craig, I thought. I can't really tell you what happens with a lot of the other stuff without giving up too much, I think. So I'm not going to get into a whole lot of it. There's a new character that comes in named Mallory, who kind of is a head above M in the M16 because she sort of screwed up this whole deal. So he's kind of taking control of M16 for a little bit to make sure everything runs straight. That was played by Ralph. I don't know how to say his last name. He's been in quite a bit of stuff. Fiennes? I'm not sure. He did a very good job. I really liked that role. Makes you hate him at the beginning when you're supposed to, and then at the end you like him and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. So he did a good job. Who else? What else do I need to talk about? I thought it was good. It's not blow your socks off. At the very end, they finally do kick back. They play the Bond music full out. He's got old style Bond jokes and actions and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of things come back, and it's basically saying, hey, we're taking this thing in the Bond direction again. We're taking control of it. So I definitely would say it's worth seeing. I don't think it's one of the best Bonds. I think it's one of the best in the past few years. I'm really excited to see where they go from now. That's more of it. So I'd say watch it, but it's probably not going to blow your socks off. Anyways, guys, I hope this was interesting. Hope you liked it, and